If you're short on time, you've got a few options. For starters, you could skip the gym completely and try to make it up another day when you've got more time. You could rush through your workout by reducing rest periods, or you could sacrifice volume by cutting your workout down a bit. But what I'd recommend instead is incorporating antagonist paired sets. That way you won't have to skip the gym, rush your workout, or reduce volume. Not only are they a massive time saver, but they're an incredible tool for increasing performance. Not to mention, they provide an insane pump and are, in my opinion, a more enjoyable way to train smaller muscle groups. Now before we jump into antagonist paired sets, let's briefly go over the main muscle groups and their antagonistic pair. And just to clarify, an antagonist muscle is a muscle whose action counteracts that of another specified muscle. The biceps and triceps both control the elbow joint, moving the forearm up or down. When the forearm moves down, the triceps contract and the biceps relax. When the forearm moves up, the biceps contract and the triceps relax. The biceps and triceps, are an antagonistic pair. The quads and hamstrings control the knee joint, moving the lower leg up or down. When the lower leg moves up, the quadriceps contract and the hamstrings relax. When the lower leg moves down, the hamstrings contract and the quadriceps relax. They too are an antagonistic pair. The chest and back work in a similar fashion as well, and the same goes for vertical pushing and pulling. Think overhead press and pull-ups. Now that we understand what muscles you'll be pairing and why, let's dive into what antagonist paired sets are and how they work. Antagonist paired sets. Antagonist paired sets are essentially just back-to-back exercises that target the opposing muscle groups, for example, biceps and triceps, or hamstrings and quads. The antagonist paired set is executed by performing one set of a given exercise and then following it up with an exercise that targets the antagonist muscle of the first set. For example, instead of performing your set of tricep pushdowns and then resting for your next set of the same exercise, you would follow the triceps pushdown with a biceps curl. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with this type of training as it's been highly popularized in the bodybuilding world as supersets. However, there's a difference. For instance, supersets, although performed in the same manner, typically alternate between exercises that target the same muscle group or a separate muscle group that isn't necessarily an opposing muscle. Antagonist paired sets, on the other hand, target the opposite muscle group on the second exercise, an important distinction. You see, when you pair your sets with the same muscle group, you inhibit your ability to increase performance. Have you ever done 50 push-ups on your first set and then couldn't get more than 10 on the second? This is due to the fatigue that sets into the muscle from the high amount of repetitions. And although supersetting two separate muscle groups that are not opposing is a better idea than combining two exercises for the same muscle group, it doesn't seem to be as beneficial as antagonist paired sets. When you pair opposing muscle groups, not only does it not negatively impact your performance, it improves it. Think about it. Let's imagine you're pairing triceps pushdowns with dumbbell curls. When you're performing your pushdowns, you're using the triceps, then you follow them up with curls. When you're curling, you're essentially resting the triceps while you're working the biceps. But because you're still moving the triceps through their full range of motion, despite them not actively contracting against resistance, it produces a sort of active recovery effect that can improve performance when performing your pushdowns again. In fact, this was shown in a 2010 study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, where they compared paired sets to traditional sets and concluded that paired sets may be more effective than traditional sets in terms of volume load. Because the goal with antagonist paired sets is not to fatigue a specific muscle, but rather to increase performance, it's important that we execute them with that intention. A 2014 study on rest intervals between paired sets concluded that more repetitions are performed when the rest period is approximately 30 to 60 seconds between sets on opposing muscles. This, however, was based on isolation movements where there is less body fatigue. Pairing compound exercises may require longer rest periods. For example, if you're pairing tricep pushdowns with dumbbell curls, the set would look like this: triceps pushdown, rest for 30 to 60 seconds, dumbbell curls, rest for 30 to 60 seconds, and repeat. If you're pairing larger muscle groups, say the chest and back, your set might look like this: bench press, 60 to 90 second rest, barbell row, 60 to 90 second rest, and repeat. I'm not suggesting that you keep a stopwatch or timer in order to ensure you're resting enough. However, I do recommend that you're mindful of your rest intervals. As long as you're resting just enough to ensure you're recovered and ready for your next exercise without resting so long that you defeat the purpose of supersetting, you'll be all set. In conclusion, science says we can expect to increase performance by performing antagonist paired sets with a bit of rest in between exercises, and my experience with antagonist paired sets suggests the same. This is not to say that one should train primarily using antagonist paired sets. However, the hyperbole associated with supersets should not deter you from implementing this type of training. So if you're short on time, getting bored with your workouts, or simply want to do more work in less time, including antagonist paired sets in your training would be beneficial. Did you find this video helpful? If so, click the like button below, as it'll truly help out the channel. Are you looking for a complete, done-for-you training and nutrition guide guaranteed to add slabs of muscle to your frame in the next 90 days? Claim your free copy of my book, Bulk Up Fast. The book has already been paid for. All you have to do is cover the small shipping fee. Just click the link in the description, tell me where to ship it, and I'll send it to you anywhere in the world. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Peace.